It is my real honor to welcome into our office the new president of the United Automobile Workers of America, Sean Fain, and the new secretary treasurer, Margaret Mock. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I don't have to tell any of our friends out in cyberspace that working families all over this country are struggling, that real wages for so many years have not kept up with inflation. And what we are seeing in these two guys is part of a rebirth of the labor movement of new elected officials at unions who are prepared to stand up and fight for their members, fight for the working class of this country. And I'm very excited about that. Sean, why don't you were mentioning to me, we were walking over the vote, you were mentioning to me that there are circumstances where workers now earning like half as much. New workers are coming into a plant earning half as much as they did 20 or 30 years ago. You want to say a word about that?
Yeah, so we've talked about the transition to EV, and so you take a city like Lordstown. We had a GM plant there where workers previously assembled vehicles and made $32 an hour or more. And
how many years ago we're talking about?
With the plant, they ended up closing the plant around just after 2019, 2020.
So 2020,
Yeah.
workers were making over 30 bucks an hour.
Yep. And so these workers were given the option of basically packing their families and relocating all over the country to other GM plants, or if they were eligible to retire, or they could quit and take a buyout and move on to something else. And so it was and then after that happened, a lot of these workers, moved all over the country. GM announced a joint venture with Altium to produce batteries for their future vehicles.
In the same plant.
In the Lordstown plant, the exact same plant.
And what are the wages that those workers who are now coming into that plant going to be making?
Yeah, so those workers hire in at $16.50 an hour, and it takes 7 years for them to get to full pay, which is $20 an hour.
All right. So a few years ago, workers in the same plant in Lordstown were making over 30 bucks an hour. Plant shuts down, they open up a new plant, batteries, people are making about half as much.
Mm-hmm.
That is, to say the least, going in absolutely the wrong direction. Margaret, what's your sense of what's going on for workers in UAW?
Well, I think that the companies are leaving the workers out of the profits. The companies are making profits hand over fist, as my grandmother used to say, and they don't want to share. And with the batteries, the EV battery companies and things of that nature, they're making even more of a profit. And they want to keep more money to themselves. And I don't think it's fair. We want to always maintain the working class. And we can't maintain the working class by rushing to the bottom or letting the companies push us to the bottom. They really should share in the profits.
And what's particularly frustrating about this, I think, Sean, you made this point, the government is putting a lot of money into transitioning our economy to a non-fossil fuel economy. Now, I don't object to that. I voted for those things. But we certainly want to see, if the government is putting tens of billions of dollars into it, want to see workers get a fair shake, not just the CEOs of the companies.
Yeah, our workers are, they're scared. For this future. We all want a green economy where, we take care of our planet and we have a healthy planet to live on. But it has to be, as we say, a just transition. And when, the government is giving $35 for every kilowatt hour produced by these battery plants. In Lordstown, for example, with the amount of kilowatt hours they'll be producing when they're at full production, they'll be receiving over $1.2 billion annually in government taxpayer-funded credits. And that worker's not, then they're in turn paying the workers half the wages they used to. So it's not a just transition.
It's absolutely not acceptable. All right. What our job is as citizens is to support these guys and to support the trade union movement in general. I think back, and both of you will remember this, that working in an automobile plant, that was the gold standard of blue-collar labor, right?
Yes.
Better wages, better benefits than any other worker in America. And that's not the case when people are making 16 bucks an hour.
Yep.
So we've gone a long way in the wrong direction, and we've got to turn that around. And with leadership like this, I think we're on the right path. So, Margaret and Sean, anything this office can do to help you, we will be there. Let's work together, and I hope the people all over the country stand up with the new leadership in the UAW and the strong union movement that we're beginning to see develop.
We greatly
For your
appreciate your
support.
support. You bet.
Thank you.
You got it.